listening to Vintage Visions on 91.3 FM, KWM, Western Wyoming Community College. I'm your host, DJ K. Dot, and today we have an absolute legend on the show who goes by the TRAUMSTER. For those of you who don't know him, he's a 23-year-old artist from Long Island, New York, and I happened to stumble upon his music about 2 years ago and absolutely fell in love with it. You know, this man has one of the most impressive discographies in the underground, in my opinion. He can do just about any style possible. He's worked with some of the most influential artists of our generation, as well as many other underground cats. And his music truly means a lot to me, as well as many others. Trumpster, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, bro. I feel blessed, man. I appreciate you interviewing me, man. Everything's going good. No complaints from me. How you feeling?
I'm chilling, dude. Can we get like a Trumpster ad lib?
Johnson, a little bitch. You know
Love
how we coming, you feel me?
it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, man. So I kind of wanted to start things off a little different than usual. I always kind of started out as, okay, tell me how like your upbringing like right away. But I wanted to kind of talk about your show this Saturday that you got coming up.
Hell yeah, man. So I'm doing a show with some members of Spider Gang, some members of Anti-World, a bunch of other dope artists coming out of the New York City Underground. It should be pretty lit, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm mad excited.
That's dope. Like how many shows do you usually do? Like a month or so, or like how often are you booked?
I mean, this is actually my first show in 6 months, honestly. But like, I definitely did like try to take a little bit of time off of performing to get my stamina back up because I used to be a heavy cigarette smoker, so I haven't smoked a cigarette in almost 6 months.
Damn.
So I just wanted to
Congrats.
build up my stamina again, just to be able to like come back 100%, like make everybody fuck with me and feel me. You know what I'm saying?
Um, so what was it kind of like growing up in Long Island, and like what was your childhood experience like?
Well, I was just some regular shit. Like, I don't come from no rich family or nothing like that. I've been through my fair share of shit, but like, otherwise, like, Long Island upbringing, just like any other type of upbringing, I feel like, in like more of like a relatively suburban area.
Word. Like what did you like? What took up your time like as a kid? Like besides music, like before you started doing that.
Man, when I was a kid, I was playing mad video games and skateboarding. I was a heavy skater, bro. When I was 14, I was going across the street because I lived off of like a busy road type shit. I was going to my boys' crib, we lived like a block and a half away, and then I got hit by a car and I broke my ankle and I stopped skating after that because like my leg is held together by like a screw.
Shit.
But yeah, I mean, I was just skating, playing video games, it's regular shit.
Yeah, I see you. I see you play like WWE a lot, like on PS2 and stuff.
Hell yeah, man! I'm like a lifelong wrestling fan. I've always
Yeah,
been into it. I
that's
got put on by my grandparents back in the day, and it's just like it's a phase that never left me, basically.
yeah, yeah, man. I still remember like being like hella young on the PS2 playing WWE and like buying the action figures and stuff. Like it was hella cool.
I'm still playing WWE games on the PS2 to this day.
Yeah,
Ain't shit changed, bro.
that's dope, dude. I actually just bought a PS2 not too long ago because I was trying to start playing some of those old classic games.
Hell yeah, man. PS2 is the best.
Straight facts. Like what was high school like for you, and like, uh, yeah, like what kind of group were you in, and like I guess kind of how would you classify yourself back then?
I was like an outcast. Like, not really too many heads fucked with me until like after I got out of high school, basically. Like, I was making music even when I was in high school, and everybody found out about it. And to be fair, it was the music I used to make when I was in high school was ass.
Like what?
This shit was straight deep.
So like
But
what?
like high school was just like regular shit. I used to just come and smack. I would fall asleep in class all the time. I still passed everything though. Like school wasn't really shit.
Yeah. So like what tapes were you like dropping around high school?
But what?
Like what tapes? I guess like when you said you thought a lot of people didn't really like your music back then. Like what tapes are we talking?
Tapes that nobody even knows about because they've been erased from existence for a long time now.
Damn, that's crazy.
It
Like
was that bad. I had to erase the history of those.
like what do you what did so I guess you already kind of said that people weren't really like rocking with your like music back in the day, but like what do you think kind of like how was their interpretation of your music from back then to like now? Like, are people kind of like switching up? They're like, oh yeah, like Trumpster's hard.
I mean, like I feel like everybody, like it was all young back then. Everybody sees like me now, like we're in our young adult years. Like everybody's doing their thing. We respect that everybody's doing and shit like that. Like you can't hold no animosity towards you. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like, and on top of that, like my music has improved drastically. On top of that too. So
definitely.
it's just like we all got respect for each other. We all cool and ain't like crazy.
Word. What did your what did your parents think about you like when you first started out, I guess, and then also like kind of now, like how has it like changed, or have they always kind of supported you, or how do they kind of feel about it?
Um, I mean, shit. My dad was mad supportive of it like the whole time, but I don't really talk to my dad like that. But he was mad supportive of that this whole time, and like I appreciate him hell for that. Most of the other people in the family, like they was just kind of whatever about it, but they was just like a little bit iffy talking about like yo, you ain't gonna be able to make a life living off of this shit. And I'm like, bro, anything's possible. You feel me?
Yeah.
Everything's possible. I'm trying to like the sky's the limit. They was always like they supported what I do just because like on like a personal family type level, but like I'm sure like a handful of my family members was like iffy about that shit.
Yeah. Who like was inspiring you like back in the day, and kind of like what inspired you to start?
After I got hit by that car, bro, I was stuck in the crib for like 3 weeks. I had the ankle injury was bad. I had to get surgically repaired and shit. Like to this
Yeah.
day, like my left leg is like an inch shorter than my right one. But I was just stuck in the crib, bro, and I was playing too many video games. I got bored. I just started listening to beats on YouTube, and I started rapping and freestyling and shit. And that's pretty much how I got started. Like I recorded my first songs with like a rock band mic that my boy gave me and shit.
Damn. So like how would you consider that situation as far as like the damage to your leg? Like do you think like are you like grateful that happened, or are you kind of like still like fuck that hurt, but like how do you feel about it?
I don't wish that shit upon my worst enemy, but like definitely made me who I am today. Like my first rap name, J Trauma, I got the letter J from the first letter of my first name,
Mhm.
and the trauma it actually came from the injury because I started rapping basically right after that shit happened.
Damn. Yo, that's so cool to hear that, dude. I was always wondering where like the trauma came.
Yeah, that's where that shit came from, bro.
So like you kind of like explained a little earlier, like you said you started rapping and like posting songs on YouTube. You're about like 14, 15 around this time, right?
Yeah, around that age, yeah.
So what was like or I guess like what was the catalyst? So I know you said like you got into that accident, but what was like, okay, this is something that I can do and that like I fuck with it.
It's just something I've always enjoyed doing, and that personal enjoyment that I get from it has never left me at all. That's really all it was. Like I just had so much fun doing that shit, and I still do to this day.
That's glad to hear, man. After a lot of tapes, man, like I don't know how you keep going. Like you're a workhorse, bro. Like you're crazy.
I appreciate you. Music's my savior, though. You feel me?
Uh-huh. Um, so like once you first kind of start out, like you're with like the basic equipment and everything. Like, how did you go about learning? Okay, I need to get an audio interface. I need to get a mic. I need to get like a pot, like all this like equipment and stuff. I guess.
I mean, anything that you're interested in life at all involves investments and shit. I just noticed that my quality could have been a lot better. And like, I had a bunch of other people critique me on that as well. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are right. I've been through that, and then I just got everything I needed, and shit's been a wrap from there.
That's dope. What was like your first mic, or I guess like not like the first like official mic where you're like, okay, like I invested in this mic.
The first mic I ever actually invested in was like, it's the Audio Technica mic, but it wasn't the Phantom Power version. It was the USB cord version, which quality on that is definitely not as good as the Phantom Power version, which I use now, but it got the job done, and I made mad hell of shit. So
Yeah.
man, mad fine shit. So it worked out.
Yes, sir. How did you learn to mix, and like kind of like how did you learn to be confident with it?
I first learned how to mix correctly through my boy Lucid, my boy Louis. Shouts out Louis. He lives up in Poughkeepsie in upstate New York. That's my boy for life though.
Hey.
But like basically one day he had me download this one program called Reaper. I still use that shit. And he just gave me the ropes on like basic mixing techniques and shit on a Skype call for a few hours. And then he was pretty much like, all right, I told you everything you need to know. You gotta get the rest you need. And I'm like, all right, bet, good looks. And I just figured everything else out that I do to this day from there.
That's
But
dope.
shouts out Louis though. Louis definitely gave me the ropes. Louis a real dude.
Mhm. Um, so then like kind of from there, like you got, like you got a mic, you're starting to mix, like kind of when did you start collaborating with people and like pushing your music out there, getting listens?
I mean, I was always heavy in like the SoundCloud underground scene. I still follow this YouTube account called Chill Funk. It's my homie.
Yeah.
He's up in Canada. He posted all like the dope rated clean shit back in the day. But he was also posting like a bunch of random unknown artists and shit too. So like I discovered a bunch of people through there when I was doing my thing. They was doing their thing. I collaborated with a bunch of people. I just met more people from there. That's pretty much it. But shouts out Chill Funk, bro.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy because like I found Drill Funk and then like you go back and there's like some older like J Trauma on there and that's like, oh shit, like that's so hard. Yeah, that dude's
Oh
too.
yeah, bro. Nah, Chill Funk's the homie.
um like what other ways did you kind of start getting your name out there and collaborating with people besides, like you're saying you hit up Trill Funk, like you're kind of like collaborating with people on that, but like what else were you doing?
I mean, shit. I collaborated with some heads back in the day that are like they got legend status to this day. Through like connections that I was doing, that shit that I was doing before. But I was using Twitter a lot too, and I found a bunch of dope people through Twitter and shit like that. A bunch of dope people through SoundCloud. A lot of them happened to be local, and we linked up and shit.
That's dope. Um what's like some advice for like some up and comers like just like I guess kind of people that have every like they have the equipment, they know maybe they know how to mix, maybe they have somebody that mixes for them, but like kind of somebody that has music, they have everything, but they just don't really nothing's clicking. Like, what would be some advice for maybe some of those people?
I would say basically just like try to stay as consistent as possible, and don't be afraid to try new things.
Uh huh. Word.
Like versatility is key these days.
Uh huh. Yeah, and consistency too. I mean, I think like it's honestly crazy to see just like the amount of songs that are coming out. Like, just seems like every day. I mean, and then I mean, even specifically like Black Cat Mafia, like for real, like there's always something dropping. Either it's like you, Phony, Otto, or it's another Black Cat member. Like, there's always something dropping, and it's like it's crazy.
Hell yeah, bro. We got to push out as much material as we can. Like we love pushing out as much as we can, and like it's man important. Like, bro, people been waiting on the Kendrick Lamar album for like 5 years now. But like I got homies dropping tapes every month. I don't give a fuck about no Kendrick Lamar, bro. I need to see more consistency.
Uh huh. Word.
No disrespect to Kendrick.
Yeah. Um, this is kind of yeah, this is kind of like a older like a question down the line, but I wanted to bring this up. But like, kind of what's like the day to day? Like, is it just like go to work and then come home and then just like grind out as many songs as possible, or kind of like how do y'all like operate?
I mean, shit. Like some of us got jobs, some of us just do our own thing and shit like that. But it's just like in our free time, we just stay as dedicated to this as possible because we just got real passion for this shit.
Where so how did you come up with a vision for your three aliases?
So the Jake Strongman name, like I already explained that.
Yeah.
The Traumster, came from like a professional wrestling influence and shit like that. So I just put that at the end, and I felt like that name kind of just correlated more towards the current music I've been making compared to the shit I was making before. So I chose that name.
Hey.
The Virtual Christ name, bro. I was fucking smacked one day when I was like 15, 16. And like I had my boy design some art for me. And it was like a crucifix with like an Internet Explorer logo on top of the Jesus head. And I'm like, I'm gonna call myself Virtual Christ. That shit's dope.
Hey, hey, that's really cool to hear, man. Um,
Yeah.
what about like your other kind of aliases? I get not really aliases, but like Lil Cha-Ching, aka like Popper Monster, Lil Eighth of Mids. Like, where did those come from?
Those are just all shit that I thought of as a teenager when I was smacked that I thought was funny and had a ring to it. So I just like I put all that shit in get shit from my old Bandcamp profile.
Yeah. And then like, are these aliases like connected, or like, do you, I mean, did they go in chronological order? Do you think they're kind of just different entities, or
I evolved from J Trauma into the Traumster just based off of like my overall improvement doing shit. But every other name that I thought up of was just some random high shit.
yeah? So like, what does it feel like to just go as far as you have? Like, how many years have you been at this? Like,
Damn, bro. I mean, I'm 23 now. I've been rapping for almost 10 years at this point.
yeah,
I mean, it's just like I feel like I'm never really going to be satisfied in life, even as far as I do get. Like I could be like the richest man in the world, and I still ain't gonna have like that personal satisfaction. So I just got to keep going, and that's pretty much like my day-to-day motivation in life.
that's some good advice, man. You always be driven, and like you're never relaxing. You know, like you're always like on the grind. What's next, type of thing.
Got to stay active. I mean,
Yeah. And then and then this is probably like a dreaded question, I know, like, but I just kind of want to hash this out for like some of the older fans and stuff. But like, you told me that you didn't really like some of your older music, or at least you kind of like changed your perspective on it. Like, kind of where does that came from, and kind of why?
just gradual improvement, man. Like to be honest, I hate pretty much everything I've made up to 2 years ago.
Damn.
It's just like I don't even get no type of nostalgic factor from that shit. I'm just like, damn, this shit was ass. I'm so much more fire now.
So is it like, do you like? I'm kind of just trying to like get into your mind, like after, like maybe you'll post like two three tapes, and you'll kind of like, maybe you're not as quick with it as you are, and like you'll kind of reminisce on those tapes or whatnot. Maybe they're like a couple years apart, but like for you, like you're dropping, I want to say at least like three or four tapes a year. So I can kind of like
Something around that, yeah.
yeah, like, so I can kind of understand like where you're coming from, where it's just like it's old, the quality, maybe the quality, the engineering wasn't as good or whatnot, but like, I mean, shit. Do you ever just kind of like like find a song, you're like, damn, like that one was pretty good though.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Like here and there, but it's just like doesn't hit the same as the stuff I make these days to me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Would you say like you get discouraged like when people might associate you with like certain songs in the past, like maybe that got a lot of streams or that kind of made like a splash?
I can't lie, I do here and there. Just because sometimes I feel like those songs aren't as good quality and they'll just like enjoy that, but they won't listen to any of the recent stuff and shit like that. And
Yeah.
I feel like if they listen to the more recent stuff, they would really enjoy it a lot.
Uh huh.
But like sometimes I get discouraged here and there, but it is what it is. I don't
Yeah.
really care like that. You feel me?
Uh huh. Would you ever like delete some of those tapes off your SoundCloud?
I've definitely been thinking about it. Like there's
Nah.
definitely some tapes that like gotta tell my listeners out there if you're an OG fan, you want to get some old tapes of mine, definitely get them because by the end of this year, most of them will probably be gone.
Damn. Hey, okay, so like I already have like in the process of like downloading all the Bandcamp songs, but like I'll definitely get those. But like, what tapes on SoundCloud were you thinking of like maybe scrapping, just so I know?
Um, Generally everything before like I don't even know. I got so many tapes. I'm about to go through the catalog real quick and see what's good.
Yeah.
Uh, and probably pretty much like most of everything before Halfway Boy.
Damn. How do you think your music has evolved over the years?
I feel like pretty much just every single aspect possible. I really don't know how to describe my progression myself personally, but like I feel like just pretty much every single aspect of my craft has improved drastically over the past 2 or 3 years.
Mm. Yeah.
Like I just have like pretty much full 100% confidence in most of what I make.
Uh-huh. And then kind of like last question for kind of the oldies. Do you ever like forget about songs that you have? Like, or I guess like do you really act I mean, you probably don't actively like search for them, but maybe like just somebody's bumping it or something, like you're just like, "Damn, I forgot I even had that song."
Half the time, I barely even remember what I had for dinner 2 nights ago. So I definitely find a lot of songs that I forgot about, and I'm like, damn, all right. I mean, I've made like probably close to 1,000 songs in my
Yeah.
lifetime too.
I would honestly say probably plus.
What happened?
I said I would say maybe even more, like with features and like old tapes, like all yeah, like it's probably around there more for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I haven't counted everything, but that's like my close approximate guess.
Yeah. Um. Then I can like I just wanted to bring this up, like listening to your music. Like I would describe it as like listening to like a video game or like playing a video game, kind of, because it's like
That's fire to hear. I fuck with that.
because it's like okay, so every tape you'll drop, there'll be like it depends on like how many songs are on the tape, but there'll be like a handful, maybe half that I'm like okay, this is a hit, like I'll put it on the playlist, and then like maybe a week or two, maybe a couple listens all the way through or not. I'll come back and I'll be like okay, like five, there are like 5 or 6 songs. I'm like okay, yeah, like how did I miss this? Like this is fire, and then like a couple and then like a couple months will pass and you're already like 2 3 tapes like ahead, and then I'll come back and then I can like finally listen to the whole tape and I'm like yes, like this whole entire tape is like amazing, like I can see exactly like why all these songs were picked for this tape. And then it's kind of like on top of that, it's like I'll listen to some of your newest stuff, and then I'll go back to some of your older songs that I wasn't like rocking with as much, and it kind of like unlocks unlocks the song for me because I can like kind of hear a similar flow or like a cadence or like just a certain song, and so it's kind of like a video game of like unlocking certain tapes and kind of like being able to listen to them all the way through and be like, yes, like this is golden.
I can't lie to you. That's one of my favorite compliments I've ever received on my music to this day. Like that's so fire. Like one of my main goals, like I want to get a song of mine in a video game soundtrack one day. I don't even care what type of video game it is. I want a song in a video game soundtrack. But yeah, I mean, definitely, it's just like there's so much quality, quantity, and just like diversity in my music that it's just like I'm just confident that like kind of difficult to get bored of listening to my shit once you get into it type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I mean, like, with how many different styles you do, like I said, I mean, you do rock, you do pop, you do rap, like, and then like there's all kinds of different like styles and stuff inside of like hip hop that you do. Like, you're crazy, bro. Like, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen somebody that can like nail a style as well as you do.
I appreciate that heavily, bro. It's just like I made the same song too many times, I would just get bored real quick.
Mhm. So what's like the process behind like a Trumpster song?
I just, damn, I just sit at I sit at the booth, set my mic. I usually be a little lit, and sometimes I write, sometimes I punch in. It depends on how I'm feeling, and pretty much like just the energy just matches everything else from there, and that's it.
And so do you like usually record with like Otto, or you kind of like record by yourself, or does it depend?
I record most of my music myself in my crib,
Where
but Otto and Fony will record songs for me when I'm linked with them and shit.
that's dope. Like how
Hell
did
yeah.
go ahead? Sorry.
Oh my bad, I said hell yeah.
Oh, so like how do you like really curious about this, like how do you come up with like the idea for a new tape, like cover art, production, features, like just everything, like how does like the Tromster put a tape together and like make those decisions?
Yeah. I mean, once I get like a good amount of songs that I consider are like tape worthy, I'll put them together and then I'll think of like a concept for like the title and artwork from there. And then like once I record the rest of that tape, I try to like keep it diverse but also match like the same type of energy that's being provided throughout the majority of the project.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much how I like come up with like tapes and concepts and stuff like that.
That's dope. I've really been like a fan of your cover arts, like through every tape. Like honestly, I feel like you always have fire cover art, and the production's always like on point, and there's never a bad.
I've always just
Yeah,
like wanted to have like my tape artwork just like catch people's eyes. Like doesn't matter how absurd it is. You can look at like past tape profiles of mine that are still on Bandcamp, and like you can just see like where I'm coming from. Like I need every tape artwork to just like catch people's eyes, no matter how ludicrous that shit is.
uh, like, do you think your tapes have like a lot deeper meaning than maybe like surface level, like first listen?
Certain tapes I made, yeah.
And I guess like kind of what are some of those meanings? I guess, and we can talk more like recent stuff if you like, but like, yeah, like is there certain like kind of messages or like little things that are like maybe it's like a certain time in your life or like
Unless the tape is loaded with bangers, pretty much every tape aside from the banger tapes is just like it's kind of me like finding like a therapeutic way to cope with shit that I'm going through at that time period.
where
Like like life is trauma, for example, and Pantry. Like those are two tapes that were like kind of like fit in that category there.
where do you feel like do you feel obligated to like put out as much music as you do? Like, do you feel like you're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna hate me if I don't put another tape out this month or something?
Nah, I just started dropping music and making music. Like if I got a song, like I try not to hold on to it for too long. I just like dropping stuff.
For real, I feel. What about your like features? Like, what's some of your favorite like Trumpster features?
Like features I have on my songs and features I've done for other people.
Other people.
Damn. Pretty much like almost most of the features I've done for Fuck Poji. I really like the features I've done for damn, I got so many features I've done for people. It's hard to keep track. But the features I've done for Poji for sure. The features I've done for like NK Ultra in the past, I fuck with those heavy still.
Uh huh. That.
Um, Pretty much like the features I've done for like all my homies, I fuck with all those shit.
Yeah, and that's something that I haven't really dived into too much. Like I see you like have dropped a lot of new features, but like even like some J Trauma features like back in the day, I still need to peep those. But I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah, there's a
gold.
lot.
There's a lot of gold in there. Um, what does a typical day look like for the Tromster?
Damn, I wake up, I eat good, I make music or I make money, I go home, I eat good again, sip some beers, smoke some Zaza. That's like a typical tranche day right there.
Yes, sir. Um,
You already know.
and then I wanted to start kind of talking about Black Hat Mafia, but before, like, how did you meet Fony and Otto? And then I kind of just after that, kind of like, how did everything come together?
So I found Fony because he like emailed me like a bunch of beat packs like randomly like throughout the span of a few days back in like later 2019. And I fucked with them all heavy, so like I hit him up and I just started talking to him. I'm like, yo, where you from? And he told me he was from Long Island, so I'm like, yo, me too. Why? Where you from? So like the town that he's been in, like pretty much like we basically been living like 15, 20 minutes away from each other our entire lives, but like we just met through like music and shit. So like after like it's like a week later, like we linked up and like basically it's been a wrap from there. Like shortly after it was my 21st birthday and like went to Phony's crib and I got man fucked up off Hennessy and I met Otto that night. Yeah, we just basically all just like kept linking from there, just making mad shit. It's been fire.
That's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah, yeah, it just like reminds me like it's a small world.
Yeah. And so like the thing that like I was kind of wondering about that whole thing is it's like I don't know how it is in New York, but like in Wyoming, like everybody kind of has an idea of who's who like throughout the whole entire state because people will like get together for sporting events or whatnot and you'll like compete with a bunch of different high schools like in Wyoming. And so like I was just kind of wondering like how come it took like so long for you guys to kind of meet each other, like living so close together? Like how come you didn't see each other like at an event one time or like in a sporting event or like something like that?
I mean, I'm type introverted, so I don't really go after a lot of shit.
Word.
But I mean, that's pretty much it right there, really. Like, unless you're like, Long Island is small, but like you got to be in the same town to really know everybody because it's so densely populated.
I see. And then like how did Black Cat Mafia start? And kind of what does that symbolize?
I mean, me and all the members of BCM been linking together for years and shit, like making music and all that. But it's just like, we threw a show in Hani and Yammy's yard one day, like one night, and it got mad lit. And like from there, we're just like, yo, honestly, we should just start a collective. Like we've all been working together for so long. Like now we starting to do shows together and shit. Like we should just make this an official group.
That's dope. Yeah, shout out Yami for
Oh yeah,
the tea he sent me.
yeah, yo, Yammy be going crazy with the shirts.
Yeah. Kind of like how did like the idea for the merch, like the how it's gonna look and all that stuff. Kind of how did that come together?
Usually it just comes from the general ideas and concepts of the artwork that I have for that current project since I've been dropping more merch with Fony recently. But Fony helps design a lot of the stuff and different like ideas for merch and stuff like that. And like me and him will bounce like ideas back and forth and just create stuff from there.
Word. Yeah, shout out Black Hat Mafia, man.
Hell yeah, that was my guy.
So like where do you see Black Hat Mafia kind of like going in the next 5 years? Like kind of what do you see as the group's future?
If everybody keeps working together and doing dope shit together, like we can go far.
Yeah,
Just everybody needs to stay dedicated and shit. Keep going. Like that's it.
that's facts, dude.
I just keep that same consistent pattern going.
That lineup is fire.
Yeah, mad talented people in that roster.
And so I kind of want to like move on to some of your more recent tapes. Tell me about like Big Boy Season 3, and kind of like where does the three tapes like the idea and kind of like the story behind that, like the trilogy.
Well, I got the big boy season idea because I'm a fat motherfucker, and I just felt like I could incorporate that in my music with just loud energy and shit like that, and it's worked out to my favor. So like, I kept that trilogy going. There's not going to be any more big boy season tapes.
Damn.
Like the third one was the final, but just like all those tapes got rowdy energy and shit, clever shit, you know.
Yeah. One thing that really caught my eye with those three cover or like the three cover arts was like the first one was like you, and then I think there's like a pizza box, and then there's like it was like yeah, like Big Boy Season One tape,
The
but then
Popeyes box,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Popeyes box with the Newports,
yeah, yeah.
and then you have me just like shirtless, but
And then like
like
yeah,
that's what I was doing at that time period, bro. Like I just eating mad Popeyes chicken, getting fucking lit.
yes sir. But like about those tapes, like it seems like all three of those cover arts are kind of similar. Like at least number two and three for sure. Number one not as much, but like you are kind of like in the middle of the picture, and then like the for number two and three you're like sitting down on a throne. Like kind of where does that like idea come from for like the cover art?
Just some fat boy king shit, you know?
Yes sir.
Just some big fat boy king shit.
What do you think your favorite song is on the third one?
My favorite song, third one. I fuck with Backyard Again. I
Yeah.
like Out the Mud. I like Demon Time with Swami. Shouts out Swami. Those are my three favorites, probably.
For sure. I really like Backyard Again. I like Do the Traumster, and then I also like Run. I think is what it's called by Otto.
What was it called? Oh yeah, Runaway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Runaway, Runaway. That's right, that's right. Yeah, that
yeah,
one's
it's
hard.
just
That one
fire.
snuck up on me. Um,
Yeah, that's why I was like, I was trying to do the auto tune shit a little bit there.
Where does like the fuck J trauma and like the Traumster tags come from?
Um, Came from some lovely ladies that was bumping my music on the internet and offered to do them from me. Shouts out those lovely ladies that did the Charleston tag.
Yeah, shut up. I like those though. They're hard.
Yeah, yeah, they fire.
And then yeah, okay, this is something that I really like am interested about. Okay, so what's like the thing with like the Scott Steiner references and like Big Papa Pump and like cuz those reference like you use some of those like throughout a lot of your discography.
I mean, shit, it's just like Scott Steiner is a Scott Steiner is the man, bro. He's got just so many videos online just from his wrestling days, just him yelling mad shit into the mic, just being a dickhead, just screaming absurd shit and not making sense. They're just trying to talk you shit. And I'm just like, damn, like I feel this energy like profusely.
Yeah. Yeah, man, like
Scott Steiner, bro.
I
Scott
love
Steiner
when
was man.
I love when you like have put those in like your tapes because it kind of is a little bit of like a time machine in a way back to some of your previous stuff. But then it's like, no, like this is new, but it kind of has like the old feel to it. Like I just like love when you put those in there.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Scott Steiner.
Yeah. How did the cover art come together for Big Papa Pump?
So I went to Poe's one night. I took that picture at Poe's house, and like his downstairs, like there's like that bobcat skin that like his dad got from hunting and shit. I had the 40 ounce. I had like that for like the 1800s revolver on me, and like I got like that chainmail shit. Like that's what Scott Steiner used to wear when he would walk in the ring. So like I got that shit, like the New York Yankee beanie. And I was like, yeah, bro, they pop a pump, yes sir.
I really like that tape as well. I thought that was was that was like 2021, right?
Yeah, it's like just a little over a year old. That was like my boom back tape that I dropped. That's
Yeah.
just still fire to me. I just wanted to like show everybody like, bro, like I'm too nice at this shit.
Yeah. And then kind of like a little interruption, but I kind of want to ask you, how did you meet in Cities Po and kind of how did that relationship start?
I know Paul my whole life, bro. We was in the same third grade class together. We used to live like literally around the corner from each other until I moved.
That's crazy. And like I remember I think it was like Virtual Cries 3. I can't remember what the song is that Po's on there, but like you guys were like filming music videos and stuff like way back in the day.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, we did that shit at there's like a Kings Park Psychiatric Center out here. It's in Kings Park. Like that shit's mad abandoned. You can like go into the buildings. Like just recently, over the past few years, they started knocking a lot of the buildings down. But yeah, it's crazy because me and Paul used to not fuck with each other until like ninth or tenth grade.
Really?
Yeah, we used to not fuck with each other.
How come?
I don't know, bro. It was just on some stupid kid shit.
Yeah.
But like, it's like linked at my boy's crib one night. It's like fucking, it was a rap from there. Started showing fag and shit.
That's dope. Shout out in Cities Po.
Shouts out, Paul.
That man's a legend as well. Um,
That's a fact.
how did the song like the Marriott 2 come together? Like with Poe, Teddy Slug, Slime the Garbage Man, and John Lemon.
I wanted to have a posse track on my tape. And like I did a show in Cali, but like a couple of years ago, I did it with like Gizmo, some Spider Gans. There was my boy Snap, John Lemon, and Slime on that shit. And like I ain't asked Snap to get on the song because I think he was going through a bunch of shit at that time. But I got Teddy Slugs I met through Paul. He's in the scheme posse. Shouts out Teddy Slugs. He's
Yeah.
talented as fuck. Good dude. I met him through Paul and I got him on the song. Then I got Slime and John Lemon on the song and like yeah, just wanted to make a quick posse track and that shit was fire.
Mm, that's dope, dude. Um, I noticed that you featured J Trauma on this project. Is there kind of like a hidden meaning behind that, or is it just kind of like an old verse? Or
So the original idea with the Traumster was I was going to stick to a general boom bap sound, but I got bored of that shit. So like I featured J Trauma on that song because like the second half of the song was just more like lit trap type shit, like just like ignorant vibes and shit.
Uh huh. Where, um, kind of moving on to like Pantry. I wanted to ask you first, like, when did Fony start doing cover arts and stuff? Because I noticed like he's been doing cover art and stuff like a lot lately.
He's been doing it for probably about a year now, but he's just started taking it seriously recently. Like he loves doing cover art. So I
Huh.
didn't do my cover art and shit now. Like he loves doing that shit.
And
But he's been doing it for about a year, and like me and him was in the same room the entire time we made Pantry, and like we were in the same room when we came up with the artwork idea, and like he whipped that shit up in like 10 minutes, no cap.
that's dope. So was it like, all right, we're just gonna go to like a local gas station and take some pictures?
Yeah, it's like a deli that's like down the road from Tony's crib that we hit.
That's dope. And then like one thing I want to ask you about this is was this like a tape to or like a prequel to Fonester, or like was it kind of like a substitution for like Don't Get Fucked Too, or kind of like how did that fit into your discography? Because I kind of noticed that there was like a gap or whatnot, like maybe we're like missing a tape or something.
Pantry is like a completely separate entity from those types of tastes because I did I guess more of like an alternative rap like type of vibe on that tape than I did like all my tapes, and I tried doing a little bit of different styles and shit there too.
Uh huh.
So I would definitely separate it from the other tapes I've made. Like Pantry doesn't sound like anything any other project I got out.
Yeah. And I just asked that because I remember I think I was around like when I interviewed Phony or something. He was saying something about "Don't Get Fucked Too," and then like that tape leading up to that was Pantry. So I was kind of like just wondering if there was like if that was if it got like switched, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, basically Fonester was like supposed to be Don't Get Fucked Too, but I didn't want to keep Don't Get Fucked as a chronology and nothing like that.
I see.
So I made Fonester like its own separate tape, and that's just like a super long tape of like all songs me and Phony had made in the past like 3 4 months after I dropped Pipemare.
Uh huh. What do you think your favorite songs on Pantry are?
Wolverine definitely got the music
Yeah,
video for that
yeah.
one.
Larry's Fire.
She Don't Want a Man is a beautiful song.
Yeah,
I like Necro Valley a lot. I
yeah,
like all the songs on Pantry.
yeah. Pantry was solid, man. I really bumped that one as well.
Good looks, bro.
Um, can we expect more like Phony Trumpster presents? As this Phonester's like the third in that kind of series, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be another Strong Phony tape this year.
Hey, that's hype.
We don't know what type of vibes we're doing yet, but it's gonna sound different from our other projects. So me and Phony are working on some crazy projects this year.
That's dope. Kind of like, and then kind of like moving into Pipemare. First off, when did you kind of start like experimenting with that pop kind of like sound? I guess like singing more because you did sing a lot. Like I noticed like a little bit further back, like you were singing, but not like how you're singing now.
I just kept practicing with that shit. Like I was always nice at singing, but I didn't really like. I learned how to fully utilize it in the past year.
Hmm.
And like once I found that from there, like I was already getting bored of making boom bap music because like you can only do so many different shit with that type of subgenre in my opinion.
Uh huh.
But like yeah, I don't know, I just kept like singing more and shit, and like I can't limit myself towards singing the way I can like a boom bap style and shit. Like I can do anything with like the type of voice I'm going with now. So like I
Uh huh.
definitely just stuck with that. It's been a lot more fun.
Yeah, I have to say, dude, like I don't love you anymore by you and Reed's November. That recent song you just dropped. That's like probably one of my favorite like singy Trompster songs. Like that song's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, good looks. I was on the way back from Heine's trip with Otto one night and he just played that beat. And I'm like, yo, I need this. Like me and Reed would sound perfect on this, and then me and Reed made that.
Yeah, that song's really beautiful. I was hella hyped when I heard that song.
Good
Um,
looks. Yeah, nah, I met Pat in that one.
so kind of like, how did you come up? Well, to me, like Pipemare seemed like a very different tape. It seemed like a lot of like pop and like kind of like that new like Trumpster singing style. Like, how did you kind of like make that? Like, I get like you said, like just practicing over a while, but like Pipemare just seemed like a very specific like Trumpster to me.
Pioneer was pretty much just like the beginning of me not limiting myself towards anything in this shit, basically.
Mhm.
Like just not limiting myself to any type of sound or vibe, just like doing everything freely, doing everything correctly. And, like Pipe Man was the first example of that.
Yeah,
Just me just like just doing whatever the fuck I want type shit.
and I could definitely like tell that like Pipemare was definitely just like a very unique tape. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
how do you like decide what producers like you want to work with? Like obviously Fony and Otto, but like some of the more or actually kind of let me rephrase that. Like how do kind of like the collab songs like with Fony and somebody else, like kind of how do those songs get made?
Phony's just always collaborating with different producers.
I see.
So whatever Phony sends me and I enjoy that, I hop on that.
I feel. And then one
Like Phony's always collaborating with different producers making different types of stuff.
yeah, dude. The man is
It's
crazy.
mad fire.
Shout out
Oh yeah.
Fony. Shout out Otto too.
Yes, sir.
Um and then one thing I wanted to bring up and then we're going to talk about Fonester for a little bit. Uh kind of how did you like learn kind of like the platform for your tapes because every tape is either like about 10 songs or like 20 pushing 20 like 3 or 4 songs or like 4 tapes a year kind of like how did you come up with that algorithm or kind of like that uh like setting that bar where it's like okay I'm going to put out 4 tapes each of them are going to be 20 and then also kind of like I noticed that you started kind of extending your project lengths like kind of yeah like tell me a little more about that.
I mean, when I was a youngin', before I had like an iPod, iPad, iPhone, any of that stuff, like I just had like a CD player in the room, and I would always listen to a full CD from start to finish.
Mhm.
And like, it's kind of unfortunate that I feel like a lot of people don't really have the attention span to do that anymore. But like, I still personally enjoy it. Like, if any artist I like drops a full length project, I'm open the whole thing start to finish.
Mhm.
And like, I just kind of applied that towards the stuff that I personally make because like I always enjoyed bumping like a whole semi-lengthy project start to finish and just like getting to listen like just everything the person has to say, every type of vibe that's getting put across and shit like that. I just incorporated that towards my own craft.
Word. And then favorite songs on Pipemare.
Do my dance, definitely.
Yeah.
Plaza Hayden, shouts out Bob. Um, I really like, damn, there's so many songs on this project. Bean Sprouts too, I love Bean Sprouts. Gift Receipt, definitely.
yeah.
Come Here Freestyle, I like a lot. Yeah, those are my favorite handful. Yeah.
Yeah. Do My Dance definitely. Freaky Friday. 38 Bars with Kane Bobain. That song's pretty fire as well. And then
Yeah, 38 Bars is Pony's favorite.
Closet Hating, yeah, too, definitely with Sideshow Young Bob.
Yeah, yeah, there's a video for that that is not been finished, and I would like it to be finished.
Victory Road too with Mavo.
Yeah, shouts out Mavo, that's my guy.
Yeah, yeah. Shouts out Mavo. I actually wanted to say, go check out his podcast, and he's done an interview with the Trumpster. We covered a couple
Definitely check
different.
that out. Shouts out Gunner as well. Gunner,
Yeah,
crazy talented producer. Shouts out to him. Good dude.
yeah. Shouts out Gunner. Um, but yeah, and then I guess now the moment we've all been waiting for, Fonester, which was a collab tape with you and Fony. How did that come
Yeah.
together, and when'd you make it?
Well, we had initial plans for a while of doing like another project that was just like since I stopped doing the boom bap shit, just like a project that was kind of like don't get fucked basically, like just like something like aggressive, loud, ratty shit, and like it was only originally going to be like 14, 15 tracks, but I kept making more shit that I enjoyed like more and more that I felt like would fit the quality of the tape. Like eventually I just like exceeded the track list from 14, 15 tracks to 20. There's like all different types of stuff on there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely go. You guys got to go peep that tape if you haven't yet.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, favorite songs on there.
Survive, definitely survive. Grizzly Gladiator,
Yep.
Monster Reborn, Hooters. There's not a single song on this tape that I don't like, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, like I remember when you dropped it, man. I was just like I was like, oh, number one's fire, number two's fire, number three, and then I'm like, by the end of it, I'm just like grinning. I'm just like, yes, dude, this is what we needed. Like, yes, sir.
Picked like the 20 best songs we made the tape real quick.
What about like the deluxe version I've seen you guys been talking about?
The last version is coming out at the end of this month. It's basically already done.
That's so wild. This tape is already like 20 tracks. So like, how many are on the deluxe?
11.
Damn, dude. So are they kind of like the same type of vibe as Fonester? Or are they going to be kind of different style, or what can we expect?
There's definitely styles on there that he didn't hear on the original tape.
Mm.
I tried to keep it as diverse as I could, so you'll definitely hear some shit that pretty much nothing on there really sounds like anything on Fonster. It's all new stuff, new fresh stuff,
That's dope.
sick material.
Yes, sir. Definitely going to be promoting that. I'd like to get some radio play on that too before I leave. Some more radio play.
Yeah, bro.
Um, how did the artwork come about by Bob Frost? Like I know you guys been working a lot lately, just with merch and different cover arts and stuff. But
Well, the artwork for Fonster was inspired by Celebrity Deathmatch. I don't know if you remember that show at all.
I have not.
It was on MTV back in the day. It was just like it's like some shit of like a bunch of like celebrities beating the fuck out of each other and shit. Isn't that funny? But like the concept of like the cover for Fonster came off like the intro for Celebrity Deathmatch.
That's dope. And then what about like the vision and kind of like the message? I guess like what would you say Fonester kind of stands for?
Fonster just stands for Fonster pushing new boundaries every day.
Hmm.
Fonster and Fony pushing new boundaries every single day.
Yes, sir. Um, I'm trying to think. You know, we mentioned the new single "I Don't Love You Anymore." You know, what about like "Lit" with Otto and TF?
Lit, man, I heard that beat and I instantly made that shit. I took like some time here and there to perfect shit as far as the mixing went, but like as soon as I heard the beat, I knew I was gonna make crazy shit like Lit.
Mhm. And then who's hopefully I'm not mispronouncing this right, or but who's Rock Gang Da? Like what's a recent song? They Don't Like Me.
He's a New York rapper. He makes like just he goes hard as fuck.
That's dope. You ever met him before?
Nah, I want to.
Uh, well, that's dope. Like any like new singles can we expect besides just the deluxe?
Yeah, I got some singles down the line that are gonna drop after Phones to Deluxe. Because I'm not dropping any new singles until Phones to Deluxe, and then I got a stream of singles that I'll be dropping after that for sure. Hopefully some new videos.
Yes, sir. That'll be dope, man. It'd be dope to hear see a couple more Trumpster music videos out there.
Definitely, streets need it.
Hmm. Yeah, I really liked. I think the last one I peeped was the Gunner tape that you and Gunner had together. What was that song? It was the second song on that tape. Um,
Oh yeah, Last of the Dying Breed.
yeah,
Yeah,
that song is amazing.
go look in. Yeah, Poji did that video. He shot and edited it.
Yeah, I was really rocking with that one. Um,
Oh yeah, shout out Poji by the way. It's actually his birthday today. Happy birthday to
hey,
Poji, my
happy
son.
happy birthday, Poji.
Thanks. Happy birthday, my son.
We got him on the radio today too, so or last night, I guess. So
That's fine.
Yes,
Let's get
sir.
it.
But yeah, man, I mean, we're pretty much wrapping up. I'm glad I was able to get it under an hour. I've just got a couple more kind of like motivational questions, I guess you could say, and then we're gonna wrap it up, man. But what
My life
keeps
is
you
too
going?
short.
Like making music every day.
Just keeping that kind of statement in the back of my head, man.
Hmm.
And just like, this is what I like doing.
So do you ever has there ever kind of like been in a moment in your career where you just kind of like wanted to quit or just wanted to take a hiatus or anything like that?
There's been a few, yeah, definitely, but it's just like, I've always had way too much passion to just like ever possibly stay committed to a hiatus or anything like that.
Hmm. I guess kind of how did you like get out of that? Because I mean, I've had a couple even experiences just with like doing the radio stuff where it just kind of like, like what's the point? I've already done all I needed to do, or like I did all I wanted to do, or something like that. Like, kind of how do you change that mindset and get hungry again?
Nah, yeah, I know what you mean. It's just like, I always try to find new sources of like inspiration, just like general life shit, like new sources of inspiration. It's like, bro, like I want to shit on this person. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like I fuck with this. I can incorporate that and shit like that.
Hmm. You ever see yourself like maybe doing something different?
Yeah, I still think it's too early to tell.
Yeah, for sure.
To be real with you.
Yeah, I guess if you were gonna do something different, like, would you want to like work at a venue or like do something music related, or would you want to do something totally different?
Definitely something totally different if I'm not like actually creating music myself.
Hmm.
Like I couldn't see myself like hosting a venue or some shit. I don't mind fighting somebody
I feel.
that somebody's gonna test like an old Tronster. It's like
Do you think people give you enough credit like inside and outside the underground?
definitely not, but that's also
Yeah.
what drives me to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like,
I definitely don't think I get the credit I'm due, but it's all good.
so like when you're just like walking around Long Island, like, you said you're like pretty like closed off, but like maybe you'll see somebody you went to high school with, or like maybe you'll see somebody that knows you, or is it kind of like you kind of get like a celebrity status, or is it kind of just like, oh, that's the Tromster? Like,
Nah, definitely not like no type of celebrity shit at all. It's just some regular shit. If I see somebody I know, like I ain't got a crazy big ego like that. Like I always
yeah.
want to remain as humble as I can. So it
Yeah.
ain't nothing like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely feel like, well, yeah, like I like that. I like that about you. Um,
But
where do you kind of like? I want to like. So there's the what's next for Jay or for the Tromster question, but there's also like where do you see your career going in the next 5 years? Like kind of like how do you see it kind of going down, and how many tapes do you want to drop in the next 5 years, and who do you want to work with?
um, yeah, I think like the potential is limitless in the next 5 years. Like I already think like by the end of this year, like I'm gonna be lit, at least semi lit type shit. But it's just like who do I want to work with, and I want to do I want to do a song with Chippy Red.
Yeah, that'd be
I
dope.
want to do a song with I want to do a song with Famous Dex Low Key.
Hey,
Well, so I want to do a song with bro, and I want to do yeah, it's tough, bro. I want to do some shit with like Fat Joe one day. I don't know. Fat Joe went hard back in the '90s.
yes, sir. That'd
Like
be
yeah,
hard.
Fat Joe back on his '90s shit,
That'd be hard.
crazy.
And then finally, what's next for what's next for the Tromster?
Got to stay tuned because I don't even know my stuff yet.
Yes, sir. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, before we go, I just wanted to say really quickly, like I kind of explained this too, like in the post and stuff. But like ever since I found you, bro, like really fell in love with your music, dude, and like I don't know, like I look up to you, I really do, and like that, like I look at your discography, and like that's like something I would want to like have one day, and like just have, like how many songs you put out, and just like you're not like I'm not trying to be like the next Tromster type of thing, but like I'm saying just how many tapes you drop, like like your different styles, like just kind of like taking that and inspiring myself, and like I want to have a big discography like the Tromster, like I want to have like I want to work with a lot of people and like stuff like that, man. Like definitely have inspired me, and your music means a lot, dude. Like just I remember so many different times listening to your music, like senior year, like in class, or like in like freshman year college, on the radio, or just so many different memories of listening to you, and like it just gets me going through gets me through the day, and like it's just hella cool, man. And I appreciate all the love that you and Fony and Otto and Black Cat and like just everybody like that has given to me, because this is something that I wasn't originally a part of, and like you've kind of let me be a part of that in a sense. So I really appreciate it, man.
No, I appreciate it heavy, bro. It means the world. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Like everything, like the support, everything, like that means the world to me. It means the world to all my boys and shit. Like, I appreciate that. Like you got no idea for real.
Thank you to the Tromster for talking to us for an hour, man. You made my year. I really appreciate it, man.
Shout out to that vintage visions, man. You already know what's good.
Yes, sir. Where can they find you, I guess?
You can just search up Traumstar anything. TRAUMSTER. I repeat, yeah. TRAUMSTER.
And I gotta
just find me on anything through there.
I gotta get like a couple more like Tromster ad libs too, just to just to end it off.
Hey, bitch. What?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, that's so fire, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much, the Tromster. Take care, man. We'll
Thank
talk
you,
soon.
sir. You already know. You be safe, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.